Hey, what's up, Lightbolt Joe here. Today we're going to discuss the brand new 2020. It's not a Netflix original film. I needed to correct myself. Code 8, directed by Jeff Chang. Jeff Chan. I'm just going to look at the credits. Jeff Chan directed this. Robbie Amell, Stephen Amell, and Sung Kang. I can never pronounce his name. Sung Kang are all starring in this film. So, this film is based off of a short film called Code 8. Same Robbie Amell playing the same character of Connor Reed, this 26-year-old with superpowers. Jeff Chan did the short film. I want to say 2016, 2017, one of those years. It's like, I don't know. Wasn't that long. So eventually it became this, how long is this? Hour and 38-minute motion picture, right? Which then debuted on Netflix. So it's not technically a Netflix film, but it's like in the top 10 on Netflix, since it came out. And what's very important about this film is that because it's not a Netflix original, it doesn't have the Netflix marketing team behind it. Like Stranger Things explodes because it's a Netflix property and because it's incredible. Tiger King exploded because it's a Netflix property, but also because it's just so batshit crazy. But that's my point. Like Code 8 is not a Netflix property. It was just put on Netflix. The things I just mentioned are Netflix properties. Coffee and Kareem, right? We just talked about that recently. That is a Netflix property, right? Love, Wedding, Repeat. That is a Netflix property. Okay, so we're all on the same page. So, Robbie Amell, I praise him all the time. He is incredible. Is now working in this film with his cousin, Stephen Amell. Everyone knows him from Arrow. Now, this is a very interesting storyline because it's kind of X-Men-ish. It's kind of Upgrade-ish. It's very much Repo Genetic Opera-ish. And we're going to go into that because I caught something that most people aren't going to catch. But I'm good like that. So, the plot point of this is super-powered folk, which are just called powered, or supers, right? They're not called supers. Supers is Incredibles kind of mindset. Incredibles 2. Powered folk, people with powers, right? Built this city called Lincoln City. And then as the years went on, machines matched their powers, so they were not needed, and then they were viewed as criminals because they could just break into a bank whenever they feel like it. So then the normal folk, the non-powered people, felt threatened and are trying to just ban powered people, which is very much X-Men and all of that plot points, right? But this is different. It's gritty. It's very Upgrade, like Leigh Whannell's Upgrade. I thought that was just such, grit of a different take on a future. What was neat about this is that the police force of Lincoln City had these massive drones, and they had these robot guardian police officers that dropped down, broke into the places first, took the brunt of the force. I thought that was neat. Very totalitarianism, but very, very neat in the same time of using the tech appropriately within the drone technology. So Robbie is very poor, lives with his mom who has freezy powers. He himself is an electric, so he has electric powers. Stephen Amell's character is I don't know what they call him. It's like telekinetic, like he can just like squish you kind of a thing. There's Bronze who can like lift up really heavy shit. There's people who could read people's minds. So it's a matter of like there's drugs going around called Psych in the city, and they need to take down a drug lord, and Sung Kang comes in because he's a police officer. He's a powered daughter, and he's trying to help Connor because Connor gets mixed up with the wrong crowd, kind of a thing, right? But he's a class 5 electric, and they yell Code 8 when their armored truck gets attacked by these powers. It's basically where the Code 8 comes from. So the drug lord is taken down by the people that are attempting to work for him, and then there's backstabbing, and then there's the thing called the trust, which is actually running the whole show to begin with. So it leads perfectly nicely into a sequel, which there has to be because there's so much more information that needs to be talked about. But, and here's the thing, and this is what we're going to talk about, right? I praise Robbie Amell all the time. Every Robbie Amell film, there's a shirtless scene, but this did not have a shirtless scene. I was very confused, very, very confused. And that's okay, because we got him crying. His lip actually quivered. The guy's 2 years older than me. He's incredible. He's an incredible actor, and I'm so proud. I don't even know him, but I'm so proud of him. I think it's safe to say that for those of you who have watched a majority of my reviews, or who have been here since the beginning, or decided to just binge watch all 300 and something that I've done. Honestly, I don't know how many I've done. But you'll notice I talk a certain way about certain individuals, certain actors, certain actresses, certain directors, certain writers, certain producers, certain composers, certain musicians, artists, etc. Right? I have my favorites. There's no getting around that. And I tell the truth. I don't speak in rhetoric. I don't say defamatory statements. I don't say anything liable. I just state facts. And the fact is Robbie Amell is an incredible actor. Fact. That is not an opinion. And how you can tell an incredible actor is what they do in a specific moment. For instance, when his mom is in a hospital bed, right? Freezing to death because her frozen powers are being triggered because she's got a brain tumor, right? Incredible, like, reasons of how she's dying, by the way. Very interesting. That man is crying, red poofy eyes, disgusting snot in his nose, and his lip is literally quivering at the bedside of his dying mother. That is very hard to do. It's very hard to do. For you non-acting folk, it's very hard to do. Dylan O'Brien can do that. It's disgusting, and he can do it. Nick Robinson has done that. I've seen it. Andrew Garfield, disgusting crier. But we've talked about this. Emma Stone, disgusting crier. But we've talked about this. Elizabeth Moss. We should talk about her in Invisible Man. We didn't discuss that yet. But she is an incredible crier. And that's my point. It's these actors, just the general blanketed umbrella term, including actors and actresses, is called an actor, right? That's their craft. Know how to pull the emotion out into it. Elle Fanning into All the Bright Places, right? All the Bright Places, we talked about that recently. It was a very hard review to do because it hit on a lot of personal notes. Incredible acting. This film showcased incredible acting. Sung can do no wrong. Robbie can do no wrong. Steven can do no wrong. And it's incredible to see these incredible, talented folk do an incredible piece. I said incredible 1,000 times. We're done on the incredible now. Okay. That stops that statement. Moving on. Now, the thing that I mentioned before that only I probably figured out, or not really figured out, but picked up on, and I don't know if the writer of this film, who I think is Jeff Chan, someone correct me if I'm wrong on that, the drug called psych, right? It is harvested from the spinal fluid of an individual, right? Back in the day, there was a film called Repo the Genetic Opera. It starred Paris Hilton. It starred Alexa Vega, who is now Alexa Pena Vega, a slew of other people. It is a rock opera. It is straight music from beginning to end. There's no speaking. There's little like moments of like musical interlude into the next song, but it's a true rock opera. Just like The Who's Tommy, it is a rock opera. Came out in 2008. Repo, exclamation point, the genetic opera. There was never a sequel. There was never a stage production. It's very indie, but in a cult classic sense, it is disgusting, but it also spurred the Jude Law movie called Repo Man. Now, the concept of those films, we should talk about those films, actually, and how we pretend the Jude Law one never happened, because I love Jude Law, but that film never happened. The basic plot point is this company called Ginkgo will provide you organs if you need an organ. Let's say you need a new liver, right? They'll give you a new liver, but you owe them. And then when the repo man comes, and if you can't pay him, he's going to cut that liver out because it's Ginkgo property, right? Very simple. Very simple dystopian plot. Now, in Repo the Genetic Opera, there's a drug called Zydrate, excuse me. Zydrate comes in a little glass vial. A little glass vial? A little glass vial. Okay. Zydrate is a blue liquid that is harvested from the body. It is harvested from a cadaver, but it's still harvested from the body. Psych, in this movie, is a white liquid, which is neon glowing, right? Blue Zydrate, which is neon glowing, versus white Psych, which is neon glowing, which is shown in a little glass vial, versus as an eye drop, not so much as Zydrate, which is literally put in a gun, and the gun goes against your anatomy, right? That's another line from the thing. Normally it goes in a thigh or like your butt, places where there's meat. Psych is shown from this healer-powered person called Nia as an eye drop, and she just puts it in her eyes, and she gets all high and happy and whatever. So I don't know if the writer, I'm assuming it's Jeff, inadvertently got the idea from Repo the Genetic Opera. I don't know if anyone else has noticed this. I don't know anyone else who has seen Repo the Genetic Opera. I know there's a lot of you out there, but mostly nobody talks about this film. It was so ahead of its time 12 years ago. But yeah, so That's the one, if I'm nitpicking here, that is the only thing I can say. That is a straight ripoff from another movie. Straight ripoff. And I don't know if there's an actual way of saying, yeah, but how many drugs can be harvested from a body and, you know, be called something different and allude to different things. I don't know. I know it's a gray area, but like, if the writer of this movie, Code 8, is secretly a fan of Repo the Genetic Opera and specifically got psych from Zydrate, then I'm calling them out on it because I picked up on it. So kudos to me. But now I need a little glass vial of blue and a little glass vial of white and just prop them up. And I want a glass vial of pink as well for Cusco's poison, the poison that was to kill Cusco. Because clearly Cusco is now a llama. A llama? He's supposed to be dead. All right. I think we talked enough. What did you guys think of Code 8? Because I kind of rambled, but I gave you a lot of backstory too on specific plot points. Because I'm good like that. I think that's it. I apologize for my ums. I apologize for my randomness. Nah, I take it back. You know what you're getting into. And that's it. On to the next review. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Self-isolation. Mucho mahalo.